Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Comic Book Lowdown. I'm Wellington, and today I'm going to be doing a pull week video. This is my every Saturday is what I'm going to make it now. Every Saturday I'm going to make a video reviewing the books that I read of the week. And so, got a lot of books today, so I'm just going to jump right into it. First, starting off on my computer, I have Detective Comics issue 15. Pretty good issue. This is continuing on. There's some death of the family type things going on in here, but like Joker is present in this issue. You even see him standing right next to Penguin, and if you I believe it was actually Batman issue 14, where you see the whole Joker and Penguin plot coming together. And so now that is gonna go happen. All that kind of stuff happens off panel. So that probably those events turn in Batman. But this is focusing on this whole Poison Ivy and Clayface deal. And Penguin's assistant guy, his name is Ogilvy. So this it's a pretty good story. It's not extremely great, but there is some great art in here. The cover of this is pretty much just like the death of the family thing that was happening in Batman. So there's nothing really there that's new, but there are some cool things that happen in this issue that are, especially with like the art. It's just really great. I wish I could show you guys right now, but if you pick it up, you'll see what I'm talking about. The art is done by Jason Fabok, and this is written by John Layman. Yeah, John Layman. Art by Jason Fabok, and it's again good story. It's not great though. The Clayface and Poison Ivy being married type thing, but she's really controlling him. This is more towards the action part of Batman, but not really too action-packed. Batman doesn't use too much detective work in this either, so it's a good story. It's not great though. Just gonna leave it at that really, because there's not much I can say without spoiling anything. Neither is there much to really talk about, honestly. So there's Detective Comics issue 15. I gave it a 3 out of 5. If I'm gonna rate these things, I'll give it a 3 out of 5. Go pick it up still, because it does tie in a little bit with the death of the family stuff if you're reading that, and as well there's a pretty big thing that happens at the end that makes this issue pretty solid. And then the second story is really solid as well, but I can't really tell you the second story without telling you the first story, and that would just be too much, and we got a lot of books to go through. So the next book, I'm just gonna get the 2 comics that I have on the computer out of the way, and this is probably my favorite of the books that I read this week, and this is Amazing Spider-Man issue 699. Wow, everything is happening really intense now. I mentioned last issue, Spider-Man Peter Parker seemed new and improved. He was a lot happier. He was a lot more bombastic. He was a go-getter, and that's pretty much explained in this because spoiler alert. I'll give you a minute. Spoiler alert. Okay, Dr. Octopus. We all know Dr. Octopus is dying right now. Somehow he switched brains, like brain memories and all this kind of stuff, so it's pretty much switched bodies and souls with Peter Parker. So now Peter Parker is Dr. Octopus, and Dr. Octopus is Peter Parker Spider-Man. So all the intentions of Dr. Octopus, the bad intentions of ruling the world and hurting people and everything, that is now Spider-Man. That is now Peter Parker in Peter Parker's body, while Peter Parker is now in Doc Ock's body, which is going to die in a couple hours. So, as you can imagine, the stakes are higher than ever. So there's that part. There's that spoiler right there. And that is the main thing of this. It's the only thing bad I can really say about this is the art. Humberto Ramos again. He's not a bad artist, but comparing him to the past couple artists that we've had, and the artists that you get on Avenging and all that kind of stuff, Spider-Man and all the characters really, they just seem too cartoony. I've been on record saying I like cartoon style, but it just seems too cartoony, like Looney Tunes cartoony, pretty much. But the story well makes up for that. The story is fantastic. Pick this up, and definitely pick up the next 3 issues, or the next 2 issues that are going to come out, 699.1 and of course 700, which everybody is going to pick up. But at the end, I saw the back cover of this, and they were talking about Superior Spider-Man, and I saw they have an image at the back of this issue with Alpha. It's like Alpha in the forefront, and then right in the back is the shadow of, like, not even the shadow, but it is Superior Spider-Man, the costume and everything. So I'm really hoping, not that Alpha is terrible, but he's not Peter Parker. And so, and if Alpha becomes Spider-Man, then I don't know what I'm going to be doing with the Spider-Man books after that, because I'm pretty sure Avenging Spider-Man is also being affected by Amazing Spider-Man. So if Alpha's this new Spider-Man in both books, then I'll give it a chance. I'll read a couple issues, and if I don't like it, then I guess I'm just done with Spider-Man. I'm really hoping that doesn't happen though, because I love Spider-Man. He's my favorite character. But moving on. Now the physical issues, I got 4 here. So again, gotta move quick through this video. I got Deadpool, Marvel Now It's Deadpool, issue 3. Still continuing with the President's thing. There's some pretty funny jokes throughout this still. For me though, the President's thing is getting a little bit older. I still really like this issue. There's a lot of good things that happen throughout this, but it's getting a little bit old. I really want to see something new happen, but I'm pretty sure this was just a more downplayed issue for the next. I'm guessing this is gonna be a 5-issue story arc, or maybe 6 issues, but I'm guessing 5. So I'm guessing this will be like a downplayed issue, whereas the next 2 or 3 issues will be like very high paced. They're gonna move along quickly, and everything's gonna be really fun. And things were fun in this as well. There's a really funny joke about Richard Nixon, and Deadpool makes it, and it's really inappropriate, and you should not tell this to any kids, but if you're an adult or older, it's going to be really funny. So anyway, that's Deadpool's Marvel Now. Just, same thing. It's going on with the President's deal, and there's, Gerald Ford, Abraham Lincoln, George Washington. There's more stuff with them and all that kind of stuff. And Doctor Strange is introduced, and there's some stuff between Doctor Strange and the one necromancer guy that made all this happen. Anyways, moving on. I got Daredevil End of Days issue 3. This issue, it's pretty interesting as well. Still, I say the first issue is the best, of course, but I mean, this issue, there's still a lot of story. You can see Ben Urich, he's getting frustrated. He's so frustrated now with looking for all the details on this, and he's just continuing. And there's Elektra's in this. She's at the beginning, and it seems that everybody that Matt goes to either knows what the Mapone or Mapone, however it's pronounced, somebody either knows what it means and they don't want to tell, or they just don't know what it means. And so You get Elektra in this. You get Echo, which is not a character that I'm actually familiar with, but they mentioned that she was part of the Avengers and she's deaf. So you get Elektra, Echo, and you get Typhoid Mary, who is now not Typhoid Mary. She is cured because she was diagnosed as with multiple personalities, and she's now cured. And there's just a lot of good story between everybody. And Matt has a lot of kids. Matt Murdock has a lot of kids running around. Elektra has a kid with Matt, and Typhoid Mary has 2 kids with Matt. So there's just a lot of Matt Murdock kids running around, and it's just a lot of good story, a lot of good character stuff with this. Elektra does something pretty cool to Ben, but it's like pretty suspenseful, and it reminds me of Batman Begins, when Bruce Wayne, before he gets the costume and he sneaks into the police station, he puts the stapler to Jim Gordon's back. It's kind of like this, or this is kind of like that, and you'll see what I'm talking about if you pick this up. And I do recommend you picking this up, because at the end, and this, I'm not going to spoil it, there is a huge thing that happens at the end, and this story is about to take off. And there's just one more thing that I've noticed. All the covers have to deal with somebody dying. The covers don't actually deal with, like, the story, really. They deal a little bit with the story, but they always just have somebody dying. I noticed that when I was thinking about it while reading this. You know, of course, the first issue, Daredevil's dying. Second issue, the Kingpin was dying. This issue, Elektra is being hung, or hanged. She's being hanged. And the fourth issue, they have a cover in the back. I'm not going to tell you who it is, but they are dying. And that goes along with this whole ending part. So definitely pick up this. Definitely pick up the first 2 issues as well. This is just an 8 issue miniseries, so definitely read it because it is enjoyable. Next, I'm gonna be reviewing Avenging Spider-Man. This is the second issue, wrapping up a 2-issue mini arc with Cullen Bunn writing and Gabriel Delotto on art. I said last video or last time I reviewed this, I should say, that I didn't like the first issue of this, and I couldn't wait till it finished so we could continue on. Whereas I might have not liked the first video so much, or the first issue so much, this issue was great. First of all, the art in this, I did say in the last time I reviewed Avenging Spider-Man, the art in this is absolutely amazing. But along with the art, the story, Cullen Bunn got a voice for Spider-Man after 1 issue, and I really see him doing a lot better with the Spider characters now, with, for example, Venom, which he's writing. And I really think that I could see this coming. I didn't guess it was coming, but I could see it coming with the last issue of Venom, because Peter Parker was featured in that issue, and Cullen Bunn wrote him so well in that he had to write him as well as that in this, and he did. And so this issue went off without a hitch. It was just great. It wrapped up a story really quick. This is how I really like stories. Of course, I like the long, drawn-out story arcs. Those are all good, but I also really like just short stories like this. I like one-shots, you know. I like everything pretty much, but I really like when we get back to just, you know, 2 issues done, or maybe 1 shot done, and then we're moving on to something else. But that's just me. Anyways, in this issue, we're continuing with Devil, Dinosaur, Moon Boy, all this kind of stuff, and they pretty much just find the source of what's controlling all these dinosaurs in the Savage Land, and just having them like go crazy and trying to kill people and all this kind of stuff. And they handle business. They handle it. It's very interesting how all this stuff is handled. There's a lot of funny stuff with Spider-Man in this. He's very witty as always. And there's they rescued the rest of the Horizon Labs people like Max and Uatu and all those people that came along to the Savage Land. But good thing they never saw that Spider-Man was there, because they would have put 2 and 2 together. But if you want to get this issue, I recommend getting this issue. There's a good story behind it. Read issue 14 and issue 15 together, and the story will probably be better. Because definitely the art is well worth it, and also the story pretty much is great from this issue. So maybe if you put it together, the whole story together will be very interesting. But just the issue 14, I didn't have very much of a liking to, but that might have just been me that day. I haven't read it since. I probably will read this again, both things, and I might even do a full-on review about it. So that's Avenging Spider-Man issue 15, and last but not, well, actually last, and this is the last issue. I picked this up. My comic book, the guy that runs the comic book store that I usually go to, he put it in my pull box because he recommended it to me pretty much. He thought that I would like it, and I in fact did like it, and I thank him for putting this in my pull box. And this is Thunderbolts issue 1 Marvel Now. I'm pretty sure he put it in because it's featuring Venom and Deadpool, and since I pick up Venom and Deadpool, put them together, and what do you know? And this is written by Daniel Way and art by Steve Dillon. Steve Dillon, you might know, he did the art for Preacher. And this issue is just really great. It's pretty much General Ross, the Red Hulk. He's recruiting, as you can see, a new Thunderbolts team. He's recruiting all of them because he wants to... You don't really know his plan yet, but each character has their own encounters with General Ross. But the main encounters that happen throughout this is General Ross and the Punisher, Frank Castle. And I think I just got to show you this. Steve Dillon draws everything great. He draws everybody really great except for Flash Thompson. He draws Venom great. He just doesn't draw Flash Thompson great. It looks kind of generic. And if you know Steve Dillon's art, at least to me, a lot of people end up looking the same. But man, he draws Punisher great. Just flip to something right here. Punisher, Frank Castle. Look at that. That is beautiful art. That is absolutely beautiful art. And I'll just show you. Oh, he draws Deadpool great as well. I mean, you don't see him without his mask on, but everything is just so clean throughout this. That's Deadpool. Everything's also very violent, but that's pretty much what you would expect when you're looking at Steve Dillon stuff. Here's Venom. Venom's drawn pretty great. Drawn sort of like Land Medina stuff. But then there's Flash Thompson right there. He doesn't really look like Flash Thompson. He looks too clean cut. I mean, it could have been Flash Thompson from, the 60s or when he was still a jock. But this isn't Flash Thompson like, the Flash Thompson that is Venom is broken down Flash Thompson. Scruffy beard, all that kind of stuff. That's the Flash Thompson I was looking for. He also draws Elektra pretty good, but it's just good. But I really have no complaints about the art except for Flash Thompson, who I think needs to look a little rougher. Because a lot of the drawings and a lot of just the characters in this are like very clean cut. But Flash Thompson is not supposed to be clean cut in my opinion, and that's just what I've seen through the Venom books, so that's what I'm going off of. But anyways, like I said, General Ross is just picking up his team, and everybody has their own interactions with him. But really, the Frank Castle stuff, the back and forth that they have together, is really what you want this book for. That's where the book is based off of, and it's just great story stuff that happens. There's not very much action, even though I showed you some action parts. There's a lot of blood for the little amount of action, but it's just a lot of character and a lot of things to be happy about. So definitely gonna continue with Thunderbolts, with the Marvel Now Thunderbolts and everything like that. I see Daniel Way doing a good job, especially because he's already experienced with Deadpool. But Deadpool won't be taking the show, the whole thing, like a lot of people towards the end of Deadpool, his run, the Daniel Way run of Deadpool, started complaining. I liked it, but a lot of people started, getting off of Daniel Way's side. But I really feel like Deadpool's gonna be fun in this. He's writing Punisher great, because there's a lot of stuff that you could tell from Punisher. And he's writing General Ross great. You haven't really seen anything with Venom and Elektra yet. Just a little bit of interaction between the two, but not too much. And just side note with the Venom and Flash Thompson and Red Hulk, this is pretty much not in continuity with Venom the series, because the Circle of Four pretty much did not happen, because there seems to be no history between Red Hulk and Venom in this. So that's just side note for there. Anyways, those are my comic books of this week. It was quite a load for this week, but it got through it, and it was just a great bunch of books. Let's just hope this train keeps going with all these good books, and I don't have to make any complaints about anything, or at least big complaints about anything. Coming up soon, I'm going to be having this Amazing Spider-Man Omnibus review. I say this every video, but I'm telling you, it's coming soon. I just got to get the time to finish reading it, and then collecting all my thoughts about it, and then putting it out to you guys. So anyways, I'm Wellington signing off with the Comic Book Lowdown, and I'll see you guys next time.